While not incredibly common, it is not unheard of for artillery pieces to use live goblins as ammunition in the Warhammer world. Obviously, there is the dreaded Doomdiver catapult, a twisted contraption that launches a willing Groby at the Greenskin's enemies with alarming speed. This ingenious insanity is to be expected of goblins, but they are not the only Warhammer race that uses the cowardly fungal creatures as living ammunition. The dwarfs of the World's Edge Mountains have also launched goblins from their war machines, firing squirming Groby instead of inanimate stone from their grudge throwers. This is exceptionally rare, as live goblins are difficult to capture. Only one grudge thrower in the Dwarven realms habitually uses goblin ammunition, the legendary Gob-Lobber. The grudge thrower known as Gob-Lobber has been in use since the Goblin Wars. This makes the venerable weapon anywhere from 3,500 to 4,000 years old, ancient even by the standards of the dwarfs. Sigmar would not walk the earth for another 1,000 years when Gob-Lobber first emerged from an engineer's workshop to make its mark on the battlefields of the Old World. Extreme care has been taken to ensure that the ancient weapon is well maintained, and it still sees battle on a semi-regular basis. It has broken the spirit of many Groby hordes and Urk mobs, sending the cowardly greenskins scurrying back to their dirt holes. The action it saw in the Goblin Wars made it famous in dwarf legends, and one could make a strong argument that it's the most famous grudge thrower throughout the entire Karaz-Core. This is almost as impressive as its military accomplishments, as there are no small number of venerated war machines in the history of the Dawi. In addition to giving it an evocative name, the Gob-Lobber's preference for live goblin ammunition has contributed to its success in battle. While the Greenskins might expect their own race to launch screeching goblins into enemy lines, it's quite another thing when the dour dwarfs do the same. Seeing such uncharacteristic behavior from the stunties, in addition to the catastrophic damage the Gob-Lobber can inflict on enemy lines, has been enough to shatter the spirits of even the most pugnacious Black Orcs. Unusually cantankerous dwarfs have grumbled that it is this unnerving ammunition, rather than any truly exceptional skill, that has made the Gob-Lobber so successful. In Total War Warhammer, the Gob-Lobber is the grudge thrower Regiment of Renown on the dwarf roster. Introduced to the King and the Warlord DLC, the Gob-Lobber cost 900 gold in multiplayer, 88 less than a normal rank 9 grudge thrower. The only other difference between the Regiment of Renown and its standard rank 9 counterpart is the weapon's Goblin Mangonel ability. This gives the Gob-Lobber the discouraged special attack on his missile attacks, bestowing a minus 16 leadership penalty to anything it hits. This leadership hit stacks with a leadership penalty for being under artillery fire and damage sustained, letting it break low leadership units faster than a regular grudge thrower. This can be very nice when fighting low leadership factions, such as Skaven, Undead, and Greenskin. High leadership armies don't suffer as much from its special abilities, as by the time the Gob-Lobber's leadership bomb starts to matter, the unit will already be almost completely destroyed. Of course, it's still a highly accurate, armor-piercing artillery piece that does well against tightly packed, heavily armored infantry. You should be able to find a use for it in almost any matchup, except Ogre Kingdoms. In that case, bring a cannon instead. That concludes our overview of the Gob-Lobber, one of the most unconventional grudge throwers in the Karaz-Core. It is also our first Dawi video. This has been a long time coming, as I've been getting dwarf requests in some of my earliest videos. I couldn't get access to all of the dwarf resources I wanted, but I did finally manage to acquire enough to put together a little video for my fellow Dawi. I hope you all enjoyed it, and we can strike a grudge from our personal Damas Krons this day. Until next time, this has been Sigmar's Chosen, signing off for now.